You don't have to be a detective.
My kind of town, Chicago is.
To figure out where Kara Spalla calls her hometown.
Born and raised in Chicago on the near west side.
Feeling a little homesick for some Second City snacks, Kara decided to bring a little taste of Chicago to Natick, Massachusetts at Spalla's.
Our mission was to bring Chicago to Boston because we lived here and couldn't find anything like this. Not only do we provide the Chicago food, the Chicago ambience, we watch every Chicago sports game we can. I even have a stock of Chicago maps and sightseeing magazines for people who say, I'd like to visit Chicago.
Located inside a European specialty market, Spalla's is a casual counter-service spot, and the signature dish is a sandwich known in Chicago as Italian beef.
If you've spent any time in Chicago, you know for certain that an Italian beef is a meal. No one in Boston makes Chicago Italian beef. It is our own Angus roast beef, cooked in my own special blend of spices. Then it is shaved very thinly and put on fresh baked bread and topped with giardiniera, which is a hot or mild pepper mix. It's a hot, wet, juicy, fabulous sandwich.
And when it comes to ordering, there are a few things you need to know.
When people come in, they typically, if they know what they're doing, it's like a language. They'll say,
"Can I get an Italian beef dipped hot?"
or they'll say,
A beef dry mild, please.
"Can I get an Italian beef wet hot?"
how do you want your beef?
However you think is good.
Hot and wet?
Sure.
Hot and wet it is. It's just its own language.
Translating this foreign phrasing is easy and tasty. You can have your beef dry, laid simply on the baguette, wet where gravy is spooned onto the sandwich, or dipped where the entire roll is submerged in that gloriously beefy elixir.
In Chicago, anything on anything is gravy. It's not thick. It's really the au jus that comes directly from roasting the beef. But in our case, it's spiced. It's fabulous. We can soak a piece of bread in that gravy and you can practically pick it up and eat it. And it's like eating a marshmallow. In fact, people sometimes order just a cup and sip it while they're eating their sandwich.
From there, you can add spicy giardiniera peppers for some extra kick, and no matter how you order it, you're going to love it.
You bite into this hot, wet, soft bread, a little bit of crunch left on the crust, and the beef is tender as anything. The salty spiciness of the giardiniera mixes with the spice of the juice of the beef, and the roast beef is fabulous. It's a hot, wet, melt in your mouth thing.
If you want all the essence of that Italian beef with some added flavor, try the Bbq Beef Sandwich slathered in house-made barbecue sauce. And for someone with a Chicago bear-sized appetite, there's the Overload.
It's a huge meal. It weighs almost 3/4 of a pound, the sandwich, when it's finished. It's a giant beef. It's a half a loaf of bread, a half a pound of cooked roast beef, provolone cheese, sweet peppers, and giardiniera. It's cheesy, beefy, Italian spicy goodness.
Of course, any restaurant that has ties to Chicago must have the city's signature hot dog on the menu, and Spalla certainly does. The Chicago dog is the real deal, made with all the key components that make this sandwich special.
There are a lot of restaurants around the country that try to make a Chicago-style dog. Our dogs are 100% authentic. They are Vienna hot dogs, Vienna buns, and the pickles, relish, and sport peppers all come from Chicago.
Spalla's also serves creative combinations using that same Vienna dog. There's the All-American topped with barbecue, pulled pork, and sweet and sour cucumbers. Or the B2 Bomber loaded up with Italian beef and hot peppers. But nothing puts hair on your chest quite like the so-called man dog.
We put all things man on a hot dog. You got the bacon, you got homemade mac and cheese, ooey gooey, and buffalo sauce on top of one of our all-beef hot dogs. It is a fabulous hot dog.
But don't be fooled by the name, because the ladies like it too.
Whatever they call it, I'll eat it. The bacon, macaroni and cheese, hot dog, and hot sauce, it's one perfect bite.
Some of Kara's other hometown favorites are actually recipes from her own home, like big portions of decadent macaroni and cheese and award-winning chili. Both taste great on their own, but they're even better together.
If you really want to do it right, Chicago-style chili, it's even better over our mac and cheese.
And then there are the meatballs, served on their own or on a roll.
People gush over these meatballs. People come in and buy meatballs 3, 4, 5 without the bread even. They just want the meatballs.
And while to some this may just be lunch or dinner, to Kara it's so much more.
We want this to be an experience. This is not just a hot dog. It's an experience. It's not just a beef sandwich. It's something they've never had and they'll always remember.